In the myths and legends of peoples across the globe, we encounter a wide variety of supernatural creatures. Remarkably, since ancient times, people from different corners of the world have told stories about strikingly similar beings. Elves, dwarves, dragons, unicorns, and other characters that seem fantastical to modern humans were considered entirely real by our ancestors. We will explore the origins of these mythical creatures, whether they had real-life prototypes, and the latest research in the study of fantastic beings. Subscribe to the Age of Dinosaurs channel. This simple action will keep you updated on our new video releases. We decided to begin our exploration of the most popular mythical creatures with dragons. Myths about enormous, lizard-like monsters exist among the peoples inhabiting every continent of our planet, including Africa and Australia. However, the appearance of these creatures varies depending on the region. Dragons from different countries also differ in their behavior and temperament. Still, there are common traits in their appearance and how they are perceived by people. Typically, dragons possess various supernatural abilities. Some can breathe fire or wield magic. Many mythical creatures can fly and have leathery wings, similar to those of bats or pterosaurs. Some varieties feature feathers, camel-like humps, horns, or other attributes associated with different animals. The temperament and relationship with humans also vary across cultures. In European traditions, dragons are often depicted as bloodthirsty and malevolent monsters. These creatures attack humans, burn villages, block water sources, kidnap maidens, and invariably guard treasures. In contrast, Eastern dragons embody strength and wisdom, often associated with the element of water. Let's take a closer look at some mythical dragons. In the myths and legends of ancient Greece and Rome, dragons were often linked to divine intervention. They either directly represented gods like Zeus or Mars, or were sent to humans as a form of punishment. Among the most famous dragons in ancient European mythology are Ladon and Lernaean Hydra. Ladon guarded the golden apples of the Hesperides, while the Hydra terrorized the region around the city of Lerna. Notably, both were multi-headed creatures, and both were defeated by Hercules during his labors. The myths of ancient Germanic peoples, particularly the Norse, feature many dragons. Consider the legendary Fafnir, slain by Sigurd, also known as Siegfried. The world serpent, Jormungandr, also can be considered a true dragon. Residing in the depths of the world's ocean, Jormungandr encircles the earth with its body. During Ragnarok, the Norse apocalypse, the serpent is destined to kill Thor, one of the principal gods. Dragons are strongly associated with Eastern cultures, particularly China. Chinese dragons have elongated, scaly bodies and 4 legs. They lack prominent wings but can still fly as effortlessly as their European counterparts. One of the most significant Chinese legends involves a dragon that controls rain and rivers, a crucial figure for a civilization dependent on agriculture. Chinese dragons symbolize imperial power, fortune, and prosperity, which is why they are celebrated during New Year festivities and other important holidays. Japanese dragons, known as Ryu, are smaller and also represent natural forces. Often depicted surrounded by clouds, they are seen as protectors of humans. As a result, Japanese dragons play a significant role in religious teachings originating from the East. In India, dragons take the form of Nagas. These beings differ significantly from typical dragon imagery. often depicted as half-human, half-serpent creatures. Nagas can control natural forces and frequently guard treasures. In one legend, Krishna protects humans from a Naga called Kaliya. The legends of various Native American tribes often feature serpent-like creatures. Among the Navajo, there are stories of a long serpent that controls rain and guards bodies of water. Other tribes, such as the Cherokee, tell of flying serpents that command the elements. A key part of Australian Aboriginal mythology revolves around Dreamtime serpents. These colossal beings participated in the creation of the world before falling into a deep slumber. In Aboriginal culture, these serpents are associated with various natural processes and elements. In African legends, dragons often take the form of serpent or lizard-like creatures. They are almost always depicted as protectors of people, symbolizing strength and power. The primary theory explaining the origin of dragon legends and their similarities across cultures is that our ancestors sought to explain natural phenomena they couldn't otherwise understand. They believed that hurricanes or earthquakes could only be caused by enormous creatures with magical abilities. The appearance of dragons may have been inspired by the discovery of dinosaur bones, large pterosaurs, or ancient marine monsters. Dinosaur bones in particular resembled oversized bird bones, which may have led to stories of flying serpents. Equally terrifying mythical creatures inhabit the seas and oceans. One of the most famous sea monsters is undoubtedly the Kraken. This giant squid has long transitioned from ancient legends to the screens of televisions and movie theaters. For centuries, sailors told tales of a monster with numerous tentacles capable of dragging entire ships and their crews to the ocean floor. The Kraken is also armed with a powerful beak that can pierce the hulls of ships. Most likely, legends of the Kraken arose after medieval ships encountered giant squids, known as Archaeoteuthis, which inhabit northern seas. These creatures could indeed inspire terror. They could grow up to 54 feet in length, with much of their body consisting of tentacles equipped with suckers. Female giant squids can weigh up to 606 pounds, while males reach about 330 pounds. Another type of mythical creature, likely inspired by the discovery of extinct animals, is the Cyclops. These one-eyed giants are primarily known from ancient Greek myths, but stories of them were once widespread throughout the Mediterranean. According to earlier myths, Cyclops were children of Gaia and Uranus. They forged the lightning bolts wielded by Zeus and helped the gods overthrow the Titans. The most famous Cyclops story, familiar to many, is how Odysseus outwitted the Cyclops Polyphemus. In Homer's Odyssey, Cyclops are depicted as a race living on islands, raising sheep, and descended from the sea god Poseidon. Some believe the prototype for Homer's Cyclops was tribes inhabiting Mediterranean islands. Interestingly, these same islands were once home to dwarf elephants. Researchers often find their skulls, which feature a single hole in the center where the trunk was located. Ancient people may have mistaken these skulls for the remains of one-eyed giants. No less prevalent than tales of monsters were stories of humanoid creatures. Elves, dwarves, and orcs have long been staples of fantasy books and video games. These mythical beings didn't emerge from thin air. They have roots in the myths and legends of various cultures. It is known that J.R.R. Tolkien, a pioneer of the fantasy genre, drew inspiration for his Middle-earth from the Finnish epic Kalevala, which itself is rooted in the ancient beliefs of Finno-Ugric and Norse peoples. These stories feature cunning and malevolent Alvar, elves, subterranean Dvergar, dwarves, and massive, savage trolls. The prototypes for dwarves, orcs, and trolls may well have been our distant cousins, the Neanderthals. This human species was characterized by stocky, robust builds, prominent foreheads, and receding chins. Neanderthals used stone and wood for tools, and few bone artifacts have survived. They dressed in animal hides, and their primitive, guttural language would have been incomprehensible to our ancestors. Around 40,000 years ago, modern humans left Africa and began colonizing Europe, which was still partially under the grip of glaciers. More organized and numerous, Cro-Magnons displaced the Neanderthals into hospitable northern regions. Violent clashes likely occurred between these human species. Echoes of this conflict may have transformed into myths and legends, turning Neanderthals into bloodthirsty trolls, and later into orcs and goblins. However, it's now known that Cro-Magnons partially assimilated Neanderthals, and their close genetic relationship allowed for interbreeding. Stories of dwarves living in underground caves may have arisen among groups that coexisted relatively peacefully with Neanderthals. Another humanoid creature for more modern legends is the Yeti, also known as Bigfoot. Tales of a large, ape-like being are told in the Himalayas, the Altai Mountains, and the United States. Most researchers believe these legends stemmed from the discovery of Gigantopithecus remains, the largest ape in Earth's history. It's also possible that our distant ancestors encountered living Gigantopithecus in some regions. Our channel, Age of Dinosaurs, has covered many of these creatures in previous episodes. We've produced videos on Gigantopithecus, Neanderthals, and their struggles with our ancestors. Naturally, we frequently discuss various dinosaurs and have even dedicated episodes to dragons, the kraken, and other mythical creatures. These videos demonstrate that most myths and legends about fantastic beings have real-world foundations, though the human mind transforms them into fantastical tales beyond rational explanation. There are many more mythical creatures with real prototypes. Here are just a few. In European culture, mermaids may have been inspired by manatees or large pinnipeds like seals. The imaginations of sailors, glimpsing their silhouettes in the water, likely crafted the image of women with fish-like tails. No animals with a single horn on their heads have evolved, but discoveries of extinct rhinoceros skulls, such as those of Elasmotherium, may have led our ancestors to believe in one-horned horses. Legends of humans transforming into animals exist in nearly every culture. Think of the frog princess in Russian fairy tales or accounts from Europe's witch hunts. The most famous type of werewolf is the lycanthrope, a person who can voluntarily turn into a wolf. Some believe these stories were inspired by individuals with hypertrichosis, a rare genetic condition causing excessive hair growth, including on the face. Winged creatures with the body of a lion and the head of an eagle appear on the crests of many medieval European houses. Scholars suggest the griffin's image arose from discoveries of Protoceratops skeletons. The horned beaks of these dinosaurs may have been mistaken for the remains of griffins, especially since dinosaur and bird bones share structural similarities, leading people to imagine wings. This list could go on almost indefinitely. Vampires, the Latin American chupacabra, the giant worm Olgoi korkoi from the Mongolian steppes, harpies, forest spirits, and even angels were born from human imagination influenced by real images. If you'd like to learn more about the prototypes of other mythical creatures, let us know in the comments. Most of these legends were born from human fears. The inability to confront natural forces and a lack of understanding of their origins created a need to explain natural phenomena and mysterious findings through fantasy. Ancient people lacked the scientific knowledge we have today, so the existence of the supernatural was an objective reality for them. Their brains and worldviews were fundamentally different from ours, leading to a vast array of myths and superstitions. Some fairy tales and legends trace back to the beliefs of people who had not yet left Africa to populate the globe. This explains the similarities in certain stories across cultures. Astonishingly, versions of the Cinderella story existed in ancient Egypt, medieval Japan, and among Australian Aborigines. Similarly, myths and legends spread across the world, giving rise to global religions. By studying common threads in the oldest fairy tales and legends, told by prehistoric hunters around campfires or by Europeans during the Renaissance, researchers have traced human migration patterns. We've discussed this in previous episodes as well. How, for example, did dragon stories emerge among nearly every culture? Why does the Slavic Zmi Gorinich resemble the Hydra from ancient Greek Lerna? By delving into the roots of these tales, we see that people from different countries are far more connected than they might seem. The story of a resurrected God, central to modern Christianity, stems from the beliefs of ancient Egyptians or Near Eastern peoples. Legends that originated in India evolved over millennia and reached Northern Europe. Today, humanity continues to reshape ancestral legends through films, books, and video games. Perhaps in the future, scholars will earnestly study variations of Harry Potter stories across different regions of Earth, or even on other planets colonized by humans. This process will continue as long as humanity endures, driven by people with imagination and a thirst for knowledge seeking to explain the unexplainable. As always, we extend our heartfelt thanks to the viewers who watch our videos to the end. If you want to learn more about real prehistoric animals or the ancestors of modern humans, we recommend checking out our previous episodes. They explore how humans discovered and studied real animals from various eras of our planet's history.